sometimes we also hold back by telling our emotions. We don't want to share the emotions what we have
Good
gone through.
afternoon. I'm good, and how are you?
I'm doing well. How was your weekend?
It was lovely as
Several times. Okay, so last
yeah.
session you did tell me about storytelling. Once we had done a practice also about story. So now, what is the concept of storytelling according to you?
I'm pure novice to this, and I don't know. I mean, when I listened this word first time from you and from other tutors as well, then I thought that yes, it's like before that I was thinking about public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
These are same in some way. It might be related terms. Like storytelling, you can do only if you are a good public speaker, or
Right, right.
if you are a good public speaker, then you can do storytelling as well. So interrelated terms.
It is
Then I thought,
interrelated, and it is also, sorry to interrupt you, it is also, it comes under public speaking. Every
yeah,
speaker who goes on the stage is not a storyteller. Every person who is facing the audience is not a storyteller, but it is an art to develop your storytelling skills. And why is it important? That's my question, that why storytelling is important. Why you
yeah.
chose storytelling as one of the part where you want to improve or excel in. Why is that?
I was trying to come up to that as well because, like I have explained to you, that I am a tutor and I am working on becoming an unspoken English, a spoken English coach. Sorry.
Hmm.
So when I think about this, this is related term. If I'm
Right.
able to explain something to my students in such a way that they feel that yes, they have learned something new, that would be great. And if
Yes.
that is a bit involving and captivating for learners in the session, if the session is captivating, so for that
Mhm.
purpose, I think that storytelling is the one thing that can help me or boost my confidence to a further level.
Definitely, it will. Definitely, it will. Because if you go to see all the successful people, the entrepreneurs or the business people or the ones who are working at the corporate level, the leaders, they always start their conversation or their speech by a story where it is always involving themselves. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's very important to understand when you're talking about a story. Of course, it can be about motivating, inspiring, or also by only by sharing something which you can make the person understand, like how you just mentioned that your students will really gain out of it, right?
yeah, right.
So it is, why is it important, is it's like a description of your ideas, your thoughts which is coming across, and where you're also, sharing your experiences, your life lessons and everything which comes, and you format a story and then you present it. Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
for this, yeah, specifically I would like to say, Rajan, here that you really need to, focus on delivering it. Like how would you deliver it? And also practice is one of the major thing. Practice, you know how important it is, be it in any
Yeah,
subject.
sure.
Yeah, so you have to find your own voice, Raj, here, that you know how you, voice out what is there in you and how you're presenting it. Very important point, being humorous is not important here. Or sometimes when you listen to a lot of people who are saying something, they add in humor. If you have that spark to add in the humor,
Yeah.
please go ahead. If you can't, it's okay. Okay, it can be a serious one also,
Oh,
that's okay, but it has to have a
yeah.
value towards the audience who is listening to you. So storytelling is also, of course, a large topic. It's a huge topic. It's not a one which we can cover in 10 minutes also. So it's a huge process which I'll keep on telling you. But just understand this, that you can develop this skill by putting your experiences, your life experiences there, and how you deliver it. Okay, so I have written some points also for you as well. So it can be about anything, about anywhere, whatever. It shouldn't be
Oh,
always like, yeah,
yeah.
what Raj had faced and then he's sharing. It can be about a simple thing which happened in
All right.
school. You can present it as a story as well. It has a place, people, then what is the circumstances, what happened, what was the result out of it. So that is
All right.
something you have to make, like, yeah, you have to make a kind of, when you're telling a story, there has to be a structure towards it. Okay, it
Yeah.
cannot be free flowing. But yes, even the practice, if you're doing, that doesn't mean that you are practicing to the T. That means you're practicing every word. No, it has to be a very natural flowing story which makes the audience connects with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So if and Raj, tell me if you have heard anywhere about somebody, or maybe you have heard on, maybe you have seen on YouTube or anywhere else. Have you ever come across a story which has really inspired you or stayed back with you?
Hmm. Uh, I can't recall, but
You
if I
can't.
talk about some personal improvement of some person, then I definitely like the concept of, I mean, the way Udit Narayan have improved. Earlier, in his earlier days, he used to sing in his village on stage. And from there, he got a chance to participate in radio
Okay.
channels. And from there, he moved to Mumbai, learned there. And then he was about to move to his village when finally he got the chance for Kayamat Se Kayamat Tak. And by then, he had spent almost 10 years. Like he had got his first chance. First song he sang with Muhammad Rafi, and then after almost 9 years, he got the chance to sing in Kayamat Se Kayamat Tak, in which he had sung almost all the songs and all were musical. So I really like the concept of his journey and the way he has achieved all this in his life.
Look at the way you just explained me in a type of story itself, right? You were telling me about Udit Narayan and how his journey was. It was a short story which you told me. Now this story will stay back with me. Why? Because I immediately connected with it. It also inspired me somewhere. You got
Okay.
it, Raj? So
Yeah,
short stories, when you are delivering it, it has a meaning towards it. Immediately the person who is listening to it, or the audience who is listening to it, is connecting with you. Okay,
right,
so you just said it in a natural way. You didn't even prepare for it, correct? You just
right.
said it in a natural way. It can be, again, you can mold it by saying some little bit of experiences also, what he failed. He failed at something, some things, because
Yeah,
when the people hear about the experiences, it's always not about successful ones. It's always about failing also, where they learned a lesson and then they became successful.
yeah, of course. And the thing that I like about this story, that yes, he was, I mean, the way I told you that he was about to move to his village. So he was struggling there for almost a decade. And then when he planned that I want to go back, he got the chance. And if you talk about his struggling days, that how he used to struggle during his village time. So he used to sing all the songs on stage shows, and sometimes he used to perform there as well on stages after along with singing. Sometimes he used to perform as an actor. So that is also intriguing.
Right, right, right. It is definitely. So, it is not about what you are going to say or tell about your journey, because sometimes we also hold back by telling our emotions. We don't want to share the emotions, what we have gone through, or the
Yeah,
failures we have gone through, or the demotivating things which happened in our life. But believe
right.
me, when people are hearing, they are very curious to know more about you. They enjoy that. Why? Because they immediately put themselves there. So go all out
Right.
telling your stories, if it is there, like, from your childhood. When you are involving yourself, of course you can tell about others as well. If you have heard about somebody, like you just told me a story about someone, but if you are involving yourself and telling a story, don't feel that, we have this here a notion that, no, when I tell about my story, what will the other person think as, or what will the other person judge me as? So it's better
Yeah.
you always go out and start your journey first, start telling your journey first to inspire the audience, and they will immediately connect with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one of the thing. Now, avoid telling bad stories. Of course, that's one of the main criteria.
Yeah. Sure.
Never a bad story. There has to be something which is involving a lot of ideas, thoughts. As I told you, there are many things which comes along with it. And yeah, find the escape routes also. So find the escape routes. What is that? Now sometimes the story becomes too draggy. Okay, because we are enjoying telling a story, it becomes too draggy. So find out the ways how you can escape and get the audience back. Okay, you
Yeah.
don't
Right.
want to bore them, right? You don't want to bore them. You can always get their attention back. Like, for an example, some people you meet, they will, you ask them that, how is your what do you like? So the person will say, I love dogs. And then they will start telling a story. I have a pet dog. His name is Muffin. And then and then they start telling the story. I bought this dog 2 years back. And the person doesn't want to hear the extended story. They just want to hear the answer there. Right? That, yeah, you love dogs. That's it. Now I know that person loves dogs. That Ankita loves dogs. That's the only story that they wanted to hear, or the answer. Sometimes we do drag it, so that's not necessary. It has to be at that moment where they want to hear what they want to hear. Okay, so Raj, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying
I mean,
something.
I was saying that if I talk about the another recent story that I can think of right now, that changing the job is really different, and we do not have this concept, especially in our country, and especially in the cosmopolitan cities. So when I heard about you that you were first a Kevin to, and then you changed. So this is also an inspiring story for me, like your story that how you first achieved one thing and then you had to move and you found some link connected to like the interconnected areas where you can improve and you can prove yourself and you
Correct.
change that and after that you are doing this successfully as well. So this is also an a like story for me.
Okay, thank you so much. That I'm glad that somewhere I inspired you, and
Yes,
though I didn't get a proper
my
chance to say my story, and I've never said much. I've said it in my classes when I took the classes with a lot of students. So I've told my story there. But yes, people do connect immediately because there are people who can't even speak English. Okay, I'm talking about English. So to
yeah,
relate with them, you firstly, very beautiful sentence. Never let your audience sympathize you. They have to empathize you.
yeah,
Okay,
right,
yeah, so whenever you're telling a story, keep that in mind. And then of course, coming back to what I was saying is, when children or students, they don't know how to speak in English, it is very motivating for them. The person who's standing in front of them as a tutor or as a trainer or as a person who they're looking up to, when they say that they didn't know English at one point of time, and when they share their story, that how did they achieve what they
right,
achieved, that's when they relate, that's when they want to learn as
yeah,
well, right?
of course,
So yes, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of telling stories. We will be discussing a lot about stories. Maybe in the next session, you can share a story about your life journey, which can inspire me and many more. I'm sure there's a lot of audience who is going to watch you.
yeah, sure.
Okay. So yes, do you
Yeah.
have anything else to say?
No, I
Okay,
can't
great,
think of any question as well.
great, Raj. So I'll see you very soon again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, take
Have
care.
a
Bye bye.
nice day. Bye
You
for
too.
now.
Bye.
See you in another session.
Yes, sure, definitely.